The topic of tonight's discussion is judgment of knowledge. So generally in modern American contemporary view, judgment is considered not a good thing. But this is only so among people who don't, who use vocabulary without critical thinking. We always make judgments. As a matter of fact, we cannot live without the judgment. The very reason why you guys are here, because you made a judgment. You made a judgment to be here rather than somewhere else. When we eat, we make a judgment. This is good food, this is not a good food. There's too much sugar here. This is way more healthy, like that. So we always make judgments. And also when it comes to knowledge, we can make judgment. As a matter of fact, we always do make a judgment. As a matter of fact, no one can live without making a judgment for a single moment. Because everyone at all times believes at least something. We are of some kind of a conviction. So therefore everyone judges at all times, even when it comes to knowledge. So the question is not whether to judge or not to judge, because let me see you not judge. It's impossible. We always make a judgment. Even as I speak right now, you guys are judging. Like, what is this? Is this good? Is like, you know, am I learning something from this? Am I wasting my time? What's the point of it? So we always make a judgment. So the question is not whether to judge or not to judge. The question is to judge on the basis of what? On the basis of what? So when it comes to knowledge, to discerning knowledge, we can also judge. And based on many different things. But tonight I'll judge on one point. Just one point. And that is the result of knowledge. Usually when we think of knowledge and we want to critically think of a piece of information, we want to see that that piece of information is consistent. So this is basic philosophical judgment. But nevertheless, there's something such as goodness also upon which knowledge can be judged. In other words, what does knowledge produce like that? And therefore, one piece of information that we may have encountered in our lives is that the identity of the self is spiritual rather than material. And therefore, the body being just the external shell of the soul that lives within, also conveys another meaning. The meaning of the soul existing even after the body ceased to exist. So this is, this people would call this reincarnation, whatever they want to call it. So if we were to judge this information, we could judge this on several different grounds, but I'll judge it only on one ground tonight, and that is what goodness does this information bring? So what is the goodness that this information, if we come to understand that I'm not temporary physical creation, the physical body is just a shield, what you call a dress, a coat that I have for some time only. What is it? What kind of result does this bring about? And of course, it can bring a lot of different results. But one result is that it transcends the fear of death. It transcends the fear of death. As a matter of fact, it transcends all kinds of fears. Because fear of death is, we all as living beings, we have a basic instinct to stay alive. To preserve ourselves, to preserve our existence. And this is a very, very deeply rooted belief. When this is being challenged or threatened, we feel we have a right to pay any price to maintain our lives. And therefore people often, when they're in a fearful situation, can act in most abominable ways. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons why people act abominably because they think I need to preserve myself. And therefore lying, stealing, cheating, murdering, you name it. These things go on. Why? Because people somewhere deep on the inside feel insecure. They feel I need to have the oil from the Middle East, not those dirty Arabs. I mean, that's how some people think. I don't. Because I need that oil I need material commodities to preserve my existence. So that my existence can be cushioned and comfy. And the list goes on and on and on. when it comes to friendships, partnership, love, anything. People think that I remember a song. I remember just a few words from the song that a guy's telling to the girl, and we used to be like this, we used to be like that, but we're not anymore like that, and so please let me go so I can love again. In other words, he's in a fearful situation that I have to abandon you because I'm in fear, in a state of fear that I'm aging and I'm not getting as much out of the life as I could. But one thing as a monk I learned is that there is no rush. There is no rush. And more I have realized that there is no rush, greater experience of life did I have. When I was teenager, I remember, when you're teenager, every year seems like 10 years. You're 17, then you're 18, you're starting saying, oh my God, I'm getting old. I need to squeeze as much out of the life as possible. This is based on fear. But if one thinks I'm not the physical, decaying physical body, I'm rather a spirit soul, then I literally can experience freedom. I literally can experience freedom. And the other goodness, that comes out of this is a fear of moral consequences. This is socially very important. I know in secular society, general masses are not interested in social issues, but such people are socially unconscious. Plato said that those who are apathetic, those who feel apathy towards social issues are ruled by tyrants. So therefore tyrants want the masses to be dull. Don't be socially conscious. So this is a very, very, very important point. That fear of moral consequences. Those who think they're existing only as long as the body exists, they do not fear moral consequences. In other words, they will engage in an immoral activity. Even though they know it's immoral, it's bad, this is a bad activity, but they will not fear moral consequences because they think that moral consequences are made up. They think that moral consequences is just something that is social, that it's a social construct. In other words, society has created it. But as long as I can evade social reprehension or social punishment, like a punishment by other people, then I will commit a heinous act. But one who believes I'm a soul, eternal soul, such people naturally fear moral consequences. Because once you step out of the realm of temporary and into the realm of permanent, then first thing that, or probably second thing that formulates there are moral concepts. Moral concepts, not again as society has constructed them, but something that's universally there. When you know it's universally bad, I don't know, to harm another living creature, you don't do that. You cannot bring yourself to do that. So these are some of the great benefits of thinking I'm a soul rather than a body. How about being charitable, unlimitedly charitable? One of the greatest mental, emotional obstacles to us being charitable is that we think we are physical bodies. And therefore being charitable is cutting away from my own body and giving to another body. Why in the world would I do that? But if you consider yourself not a temporary body, by the way, it smells really bad if you don't wash it regularly. Just a side note. But if you think yourself a permanent soul, you have transcended the fear of death, then you can be literally unlimitedly charitable. you will have no mental obstacles to being good. Therefore, to promote at the same time materialism and try to teach people moral values is like trying to ignite fire while pouring water on it.
Yes,
Amen.